We've been talking all week about the issue of Twitter and abuse on Twitter, talking to the likes of Stan Collymore, who's been talking very vocally about Twitter this week. Now, you've got a huge number of followers on Twitter, I think 1.1 million. Yeah. Do you ever have, like, as a comedian, I suppose you're used to it, aren't you? But do you ever have trolls or people who are making more than just, you know, slightly nasty comments to you?
Well, I mean, I think it's there's a scale of this sort of thing, you know, and you have to kind of really make a judgment on whether it's just people trying to deliberately provoke you, or whether there are, you know, people are actually, there's some more serious allegations of abuse and so on. And some of it's horrible. I mean, you know, you can see that people have these sustained campaigns of abuse, and I think Twitter should do more. I think it's difficult because, of course, there's millions and millions of people on Twitter, and sort of this vast volume of traffic. You know, how do you filter all of that? And I think you just have to be quite robust about it and just, you know, ignore any abuse, any sort of trolling. Just ignore it, you know, and people get bored pretty quickly.
And that's what Tom Daley told us as well. He's had a lot of it. Unfortunately, he just ignores it now. Is that what you do, if you've ever experienced it in the past?
Well, with Twitter, there's a feature on it where you can block certain users, and so if you get any sort of abuse, you just block them, and that's it. And yeah, I mean, if people are determined, I mean, and people really have got it in for you, then, you know, perhaps it becomes a more sustained sort of campaign. But I tend to find people get bored very quickly, and they'll just do it to get a reaction. And if they don't get the reaction, then they stop.
And the benefits of Twitter outweigh that, right? Because it's a great way of you talking to your fans.
Well, it is, yes. I mean, it's become a bit of a, you know, quite a powerful tool. I mean, and a lot of, you know, newspapers will report people's Twitter feed because it's a sort of a live stream. And you have to be careful with it because, you know, Twitter can be quite damaging, can be quite powerful. I mean, you know, you look at the, you know, cases where people are taken to court for libel because of rather reckless tweets. So you have to use it wisely. But, you know, it can be a fun way of interacting with fans, and if, you know, it's you know, it can be what you make of it.